taken on a new meaning in the time of coronavirus as our hair grows, and grows, and grows, because our hairstylists, waxers, and threaders are unavailable to keep us looking fresh. The younger generation, ages 10 to 25, don't seem to mind. RadioActive Celia Fragale wanted to know what sets them apart.
Make no mistake, Gen Z does think about body hair. It's something my friends and I talk about a lot. Like my friend Tess.
I have a lot of thick arm hair and armpit hair and just body hair in general.
And here's Kira.
I am Fijian Indian, so I have it like on my arms pretty visibly, and my legs, and my finger knuckles.
As for me, my body hair is light brown and goldeny on my arms and dark brown on my legs. Growing up, my mom told me not to shave. She said shaving would make my hair grow back thicker and darker. I would go to track practices embarrassed when I had to wear shorts. As I got to high school, I noticed that some girls didn't remove their body hair.
For me, it's like I really don't care. Like if I randomly wear shorts to school and my legs are hairy, it's not a problem for me.
That's my friend Greta.
It's almost about what persona I feel like putting on that day. Ooh, do I feel like standing out and rocking the body hair, or do I feel like fitting into a more standard norm?
The standard norm. The one women older than us have abided by. Having no hair south of their eyebrows. But Greta and others in my generation seem to be okay with having a hairy leg day. So why are we more accepting of our body hair? I called this lady, Jess Watts. She works at a big ad agency called RPA, where she studied Gen Z for a marketing campaign. She learned that we've been encouraged all of our lives to express ourselves.
So they tend to be a lot more liberal and fluid in just how they see themselves and how they accept and see the world.
Watts even has a special name for us. She calls us identity shifters. That means we've got a really nuanced relationship with identity. She says Gen Z has a wider awareness of gender, and that it's on a spectrum.
So they are much more comfortable, I think, in terms of expressing themselves in ways that don't fit traditional gender norms, and really pushing back on entities or brands or, any type of authority figure that tries to tell them how they should act within a certain gender ideal. And that includes body hair.
Yeah, body hair. Gen Z was raised to express themselves, so they have a wider understanding of gender. Watts makes the point that the whole body hair thing is deep and cultural and decades old and filled with pressure from parents and peers, and that removing body hair is super gendered. And in her research, she learned how connected body hair and identity are.
Because body hair can be such a way to express your identity. And it can be such an outward signal to the world of your values and what you care about.
I shared this information with my friend Greta. Greta says that this makes her feel hopeful for the future.
It makes me wonder if this is a step towards, all types of body acceptance in the future, and this is a step towards a more accepting future for everyone.
So, to those of you at home watching in dismay as your mustache grows, I humbly suggest you take a cue from my generation. Embrace the growth and don't stress the hair. For RadioActive, this is Celia Fragale.
For the first time in U.S. history, the country saw 6 female presidential candidates. Unlike the male candidates, the women were asked about their fashion choices. RadioActive's Ritika Managuli talks to younger women about how they experience the pressures of dressing for success.
When Hillary Clinton ran for president in 2016, reporters always wanted to talk about her pantsuits. Not much has changed since then.
Senator Warren, everybody's excited about the debates next week. Have you picked out your outfit yet?
What female candidates wear plays a huge role in whether people think they're electable, and that judgment starts pretty young. I met with high schooler Sonya Gonzalez. She told me what she would wear for mock trial. a club where students imitate an actual trial as attorneys and witnesses.
I would always straighten my hair. Then I would do my makeup. It couldn't be too intense, but we still had to look professional by covering up our acne and dark circles. Then I would get dressed in a matching all-black pantsuit. Lastly, I would put on my heels, making sure that they weren't too high, and finally walk out the door for the day.
As president of mock trial, Sonya is experienced enough to know exactly what the jury is looking for. Follow their rubric, and you won't lose points. She remembers her first scrimmage, when the jury told them why they lost.
All the women attorney were told that they should have worn pants instead of skirts because skirts make them seem more feminine and they would be more respected if they wore pants.
Pants might be the expectation for mock trial, but Hillary Clinton got criticized for her pantsuits. So what is the official rulebook? Well, there is none. But Sonya knows that either way, expectations involve dressing the part.
What you wear sends a message to people about who you are.
I reached out to Jessica Bennett. She is a New York Times editor covering gender and culture. She explained that women are often scrutinized more critically than their male counterparts.
This ranges from their records and how much experience they have to whether the public perceives them to be electable, to the way that they say things, literally their tone of voice or the pitch of their tone, to what they wear. And part of this has to do simply with the fact that we are not used to seeing, even in this day and age, women in the highest positions of power.
Until that happens, women still have to conform to an unwritten dress code, and Ambika Singh wants to help them. She has a business called Armour, an online clothing rental store with a variety to choose from.
Clothing is like part of how we present ourselves and like part of the armor and part of the first impression. In the modern era, our armor is our clothing. And so I was focused on clothing because of its relationship with how we present externally and how we present internally.
But we don't know if Elizabeth Warren got to pick her outfits because they made her feel good.
Here's my big one. Black pants, black top, and a jacket over.
We won't have a woman for president this year, but presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden promised to nominate a woman as his running mate. How will voters react to what she wears? I went back to high schooler Sancha Gonzalez. Her dream is to go into politics and possibly to work in the White House. She told me that her gender and what she wears is always in the back of her mind.
I feel like if you don't dress in a feminine way, then you're seen as too powerful or too manly or just trying to be something that you're not. And women that are wearing pantsuits or like strong colors, they're always seen as like really abrasive and really aggressive instead of just, oh, they're wearing the color red just because they like it, like how a man would be seen.
Sancha would like to think we don't get judged by what we wear, but she also realizes both men and women have internalized the messages about the way professional women should look. And given her ambitions for the future, Sancha will continue to play by the rules until those rules change. For RadioActive, this is Ritika Managuli.